Hey guys, welcome to another level 1 MCAT prep viewer question. This question was sent to me somewhere, I just can't remember where, but I know if you have any questions, just drop it in the comment section below or also send it to my Facebook page. Also, subscribe to just keep up with all the new content and when the live tutorials are happening. Okay, so let's get started with this question. What we have is we've got this number in the sequence, they're called hexagonal numbers, and basically we've been given a particular formula to find a particular term. All right, so that's what this formula is, 2n squared minus n. Now what we're trying to say is that prove that the sum of two consecutive numbers in this sequence will always be odd. So if the first term, or the first number that I'm figuring out, is going to be 2n squared minus n, then the second one is going to be, so imagine like this is t1, then t2 is going to be 2 n plus 1 squared minus n. So basically it's just saying, sorry, not n plus 1. So I'm actually going to kind of just kind of on the side here just show you guys what this question actually is talking about. So if I put n equals to 1, then I'm going to get 2 times n squared, which is 2 times 1 squared minus 1. So 2 times 1 is just 2, 2 minus 1 is 1. So when n equals to 1, the first term is 1. If I go n equals to 2, then remember I've actually got the second formula which is set up, but I'm going to do it the first way, which is 2 times 2 squared minus 2. So I've got 2 times 2 squared, which is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. So you guys can see that that's where that 6 is coming from, and then the 1 is actually coming from here. Okay, now I'm actually going to do it the other way as well. So if I was to use the T2 formula, then I'm going to get, well, pretty much the same kind of idea. So for example, if I use the T2 formula, then I'm going to get 2 times 1 plus 1 squared minus 1 plus 1, which is 2 times 2 squared minus 2, and it ends up being 6 again. Okay, so I'm hoping you guys can see the connection between the two formulas. Basically, all it's saying is that if n is the first term, then n plus 1 would be the second term. So now it says prove that the sum of these two consecutive numbers will always be odd. So I've got to add t2 plus t1. So t2 right now is 2n plus 1 squared minus n plus 1 plus t1, which is 2n squared minus n. So I hope you guys can see that there. So that's what t1 is. And then t2 is this entire thing right here. So I want to actually add them up together and see what happens. So to do that, I need to expand the brackets. So I've got n plus 1 times n plus 1. Minus times n is minus n. Minus times 1 is minus 1. Plus 2n squared minus n. So I need to do that quadratic now. So I'm going to do the quadratic before multiplying the 2. So n plus 1 squared, I'm going to get n squared plus 1n plus 1n plus 1, and then I've got minus n and minus n, which is going to make minus 2n plus 2n squared minus 1. So I need to expand, just simplify whatever's inside the brackets, which is n squared plus 2n plus 1 minus 2n plus 2n squared minus 1. Simplifying this, or actually not simplifying, expanding this, so I've got 2n squared plus 4n, and then 2 times 1 is plus 2 minus 2n plus 2n squared minus 1. So putting everything together, what I end up getting is I've got 4n squared. So 4n squared is actually from there. Then I've got 4n minus 2n, which equals to 2n. And then I've got 2 minus 1, which equals to positive 1. Okay, now this is what we actually have got here, 4n squared plus 2n, right? What we can do is we can actually factorize just the first two terms. So when I actually factorize just the first two terms, I'm not going to take everything out, I'm just going to take the 2 part out. If I take 2 part out, what I get is 2n squared plus n plus 1, okay? And if you remember, what you can actually do is at this point, you can actually say odd numbers, if you remember, odd numbers have that format of like 2n plus 1, but in this case I'm just going to use a different letter. for example, 2x plus 1. So as you can see, this number that we're dealing with right now has got the form of an odd number where the x part is actually equal to the n value. So in this case, we can kind of say, because it's 2 times any number is an even number, so 2 times any number is an even number, and if you add 1 to it, it'll always be an odd number. So you can also say that if you want to. So from here, you could actually say 2 multiplied by any number is even, and when added by 1, the number is odd. Yeah, so this is another way you could do it as well. So that's what the question's asking. Prove the sum of 2 consecutive numbers in the sequence will always be odd. And that's what we've actually done here, guys. Okay, that's basically it for this question. Always don't forget to like this video and share this video, and also subscribe to keep up with the latest content and when the live tutorials are on. Also, there should be some videos popping up very soon. Just check them out. There's a lot of questions in there for you guys to practice. All right, thank you for watching.